Nice to see you nice. Hi, I'm Croglander, and welcome back to Die Hard Vendetta. And today we'll be finishing off Hollywood Boulevard, sort of street level. And 1 second in, and we're already needed to save a civilian. And a not very dignified civilian. And if you're going to get shot, at least show a little bit of dignity, please. Then again, I should talk. If someone pointed a gun at me, I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be like, shit! But nevertheless, this part here, you grab the leader, take him hostage, and then you can interrogate them a bit.
Who's responsible for the two stiffs and Fat Larry's?
Look, man, we own Hollywood. Sergio wanted them dead.
Sergio, huh?
Sergio. And that was the point of talking to the gang members to get that name. Now, if you didn't interrogate them at that point, there is a second opportunity in the level. And here you can see what I meant when I said I had trouble with vertical jumping in this game. It's kind of awkward.
Whoa, easy there,
Yeah,
John.
but it doesn't really cover too much. It's not a huge issue. Bloody handprints there. You could say we're going to catch him red-handed. Terrible joke there. Yeah, these pricks will come out and try and surprise you. I actually got shot a couple of times there when playing this game for the first time in ages, trying to be stealthful. But like in any game, it's about learning the levels. You can say that for any genre or whatever. Now I'm showing off where we're supposed to be going in a bit. Sort of Vinny's pool hall. Vinny's pool shack, as the sign says. But we can't just go in there yet. We need a disguise, because that's only for gang members. But luckily, I know where to get it. And here we have a second hostage situation.
What you think, man? Nice cut?
I'd like to remember at this point, again, I'm looking for a med kit. Still looking for that med kit. Hoping not to die easily.
John.
Hey, what sort of tie goes with this here?
Shit, you don't want to wear no tie, man. What are you, an accountant?
Well, maybe you ought to pick me out a shirt, since you a motherfucking fashion expert now.
Motherfucking fashion expert.
Let them go, or your friend here is gonna lose his face.
Do as he says. Put your gun down.
That's better.
And that sound of the zoom going up, that's the hero time filling up because we've saved civilians. But I'll use that later on. I'll find a good use for it. Yeah, again, I do like this sort of a scenario where it looks like a real city. Well, it doesn't, but you know what I mean. It's like set out like one, with the level design and what have you, and all the characters. It does make that I do like that about. Do like that aspect about this game a lot. All the characters that talk really makes it feel two-dimensional. Then, like, you know, the option just to take people alive and to save civilians. You know, it's good to be the good guy.
Just about my size.
And of course, the gang disguise there. The gang disguise there, I should say, on the counter. You'll need that a bit later on.
You guys had better
Although I
get
do
out
find
of
this
here,
odd.
the lead story on tonight's news.
We get the message.
I'll just talk to them to make sure they hide in a safe place. Although, like I was saying, I do find it odd that John McClane's like this middle-aged white cop and he's impersonating a gang member.
Asshole.
They really shouldn't buy this disguise.
Oops.
I like this part. Didn't you hear the gunshots? Actually, good point. There's no other clothes in there. What was she changing into? Game logic, eh? Still desperately looking for that med kit. Ah, but don't worry, it works out fine in the end. I managed to use my superior shooting skills to safely get one.
Hey, just shut the fuck up and get this shit loaded.
Yeah, you just make sure no one sees us. Hey, man, how much more stuff are we gonna take? How much do you think? All of it, dumbass. Now get moving.
I don't like the voice acting. It's kind of stereotypical And what I mean by that is I don't find stereotypes funny, which I don't. I think they're stupid and lazy comedy, if I'm honest. But what I mean is I do find them sort of entertaining how over the top they are. And I hope that's what they were going for. I think this is sort of like the developer's real opinion of LA citizens or what have you. And there, with 10 health left, I managed to get a vital med kit. And if I haven't explained before, you just select it in the inventory and it automatically heals you. Kind of universal like that.
Just sit tight.
Of course, sneak in here, you'll see another
After
civilian.
gone, I'll be on my way.
Dude, I don't want any trouble, alright?
Shut the fuck up then. Dog, motherfucker.
Don't bother.
Vinny's pool hall. Time to get your hustle on, John.
Vinny's pool hall, that's what it's
Okay.
called.
I am now, man. Take whatever you want, dude. No charge.
Now, something else I should show off in the future is the fact that if you come into the shop in the front, you talk to him right there, and the gang member's still hiding behind him, but he won't reveal himself. Unlike the guy working at the counter will sort of give you subtle hints. And really, I've got to show that off in another video. Again, I'm making more work for myself. But it's worth showing off. Little nuances. And speaking of something else which I don't show off, is the fact that I didn't have to shoot those guys. There's like a forklift truck to the right, and you can just hit switch and kill them with falling debris. Again, I've made something else to put on my to-do list. But, oh well. At least you're getting most of the story. Or at least when I'm not talking over it. The pool. This is sort of a cool section where you infiltrate the gang. Another thing is, you notice I'm wearing disguise. They still shoot me. So,
Here you go.
What do you want here?
I ain't here to play pool. I'm delivering something for your boss,
And who might that be?
Sergio.
Okay, but I suggest you don't speak unless spoken to. They don't like new faces in here.
yeah, I'm a gang member. I'm middle-aged. But I'm a gang member, yeah. Look, I suppose you can get middle-aged gang members.
Yeah,
But it just seems odd.
get a drink. What you would met.
Now, what's going to happen here is, just in case it happens so fast, is that you're going to be in the bar, and then another group of people come in shooting, and I sort of hide in the corner, hoping to get them to shoot each other. Well, I can be safe, but I end up having to defend myself. And here comes the intruders now. At least I managed to shoot one other person. These fuckers are planned. I was just reading the text there. And if you're wondering, if you talk to the gang members straight away, they'll find out who you are. They'll go, oh, you're that cop McLean. So I can't really complain about the disguise. Because when it comes down to it, they do really see through it quite quickly. And here I use hero time. And sort of wait for it to run out. Shame can't stop and start it. But if you did that, but if you could do that, that would make this really broken. Now, in case you can't hear it because the sound's playing the music, we've found a painting and we know where to go next. The Chinese theatre. Da, da, da. With generic drum and bass in the background. Oh, another useful tip, medkit. Behind the bar. You know, I do wonder if I hide behind the bar, that would have helped me out. If I could have just did that. But there would have been a member there, I'm not sure if he would have just started shooting at me. But it would have been nice to check out. You know, speaking of the music in this game, is you don't actually get it. You don't get level music per se, you get sort of atmospheric stings. Kind of like an action movie, and I do like that aspect. Like, it means you don't get background music, apart from this techno, which you only hear in the club. And it's actually a piece of music they reuse again near later on in the game. So, oh well. The sound, it's certainly not terrible, but I guess it's not too varied. Ah, so Frontier's sending these men. The mystery unravels. Whatever. Again, I'll approach it like a tactical shooter, just popping in and out, waiting for them to reload their weapons and then shooting them then. You could say I'm playing a bit cheap, or you could say I'm just using my head. I prefer the latter, if I'm honest. I'm not being timid, I'm just being smart. Yeah. That's my excuse. Oh, anyway, speaking of which, the gang member, Sergio, I don't know who he is. I mean, I don't know. If I saw a picture of the models, I wouldn't say, oh, that's Sergio. But he presumably didn't die in that bar fight, because he wasn't there. And I say that because he actually appears later on in the game. In a certain... in one of the more interesting levels, I think. Wait, well, actually he does. Though I don't know which one he is. I'm kind of making no sense here, but when we see Sergio again, or we see who we might think is Sergio, you'll know what I mean. Oh, great! More vertical jumping. I do like the billboard at the top there. That kind of switches. That's pretty cool. Yes, and of course we approach the Chinese theatre, as it's called. Obviously based off the one in LA. Because if you don't know, this is set in LA. And I get into a bit of trouble with these fuckers. And I have trouble jumping out too, so I'm kind of stuck. Oh well. Did you manage to get through though? And I'm not sure if you noticed, but in the previous videos you see actually stars on the pavement. And they don't really say anything, it's just generic text. I'm not even sure if it's readable. The stars, I mean, you see on the pavement near Hollywood, of course. I'm not... Where's that horn come from? I'm not sure who's bopping their horn at this. This look twat. Maybe it would have been a good time to save my hero time for this. Who knows? Vertical jumping, seriously, I'm not a fan of it. I'm really not a fan of it in this game. But yeah, overall, this level on the streets, I do like it. It's got interesting people going around their business. Lots of characters, people to talk to again. And lots of different locations, like a CD shop and a clothing store. Kind of feels, I don't use the term realistic, but it definitely feels like sort of a bit more fleshed out, per se. Also, thing I will mention is the loading times in this game are quite long. And I'm guessing that's because they load all these audio clips of people talking. That's my guess. Because usually stuff like that, audio and video, that usually takes up the most amount of volume in terms of computer space and that. But nevertheless, this part's nearly over. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, subscribe. And I've been Kroglander. Thanks for watching.